It was such an insightful lecture, and thank you for sharing your journey in dance and education.
That was my pleasure. I'm going to take a little drink of water just so I don't.
Your lecture title is captivating. How did you come up with the title?
It's something I do.
You do?
Yeah.
All the time?
Yeah, I'm what they call a tree hugger.
Tree hugger.
Yeah, I'm a tree hugger. I live in a vast forest. I live really deep in nature, and I have a kind of extraordinary relationship with. I can't describe it. I just have a very deep relationship to the nature I live with and tremendous respect. Yeah. So there's nothing better than nature for myself, which is interesting because I make human aesthetics, you know, and nature provides the most extraordinary models.
Right. Your passion for studying Ikebana is intriguing. And what aspects of it interest you the most?
You see the world differently.
Differently?
You see the world differently. I mean, especially if you live in, as I do, or no, all of us live with some nature. And so suddenly the world is filled with possibility. And I have the feeling sometimes trees will show you something, and you go like, oh, that would be wonderful. But you're 30 meters up. So you have the feeling that nature talks to you when you are considering this. Yeah, I have to some degree stopped taking pieces of nature into the house because I live so deeply within an ecological environment that, or a very balanced environment, as balanced as it can be these days. Yeah, that I am really afraid of disturbing the balance in any way. I try to walk in the forest in a very narrow path, not to disturb. I realize that every flower is necessary, so I leave the flower there, but I enjoy the flowers where they are, and I wait for them every year. Every season they come up, and I know they're coming, or I hope they're coming, and it's like family. Oh. You know, it's wonderful.
Family?
Yeah, it's one of the most extraordinary things I have in my life. This extended family, which are these cycles of wildflowers in my life. I am so grateful for this. Yeah.
Oh, wow, so beautiful. I assume that being a self-taught choreographer has encouraged you to think outside the box. And how has your background influenced your style?
No one really tells you what the subject is.
Huh.
No one says, you know, you have to be socially, politically, culturally attuned to your environment. Yeah, and when I did one piece first in Stuttgart, and a very famous choreographer came up to me and he whispered in my ear, he said, "There are no rules." No rules. Which was amazing, also terrifying. You know, then what? If no rules, then what? Right. It turns out there are extraordinary rules, yeah, and they all have to do with human cognition. How, like I mentioned before, how we shape pattern in order to properly speak so that you will hear us speak. Yeah, it's basically all concerns time and aggregation of, or densities of action.
Wow. Okay, let's move on to your creative process. Where do you get your ideas for choreography?
First through action, by moving.
By moving?
Yeah, I move. I think my fellow laureate Paul is very similar. I move. If I move, I have ideas. Yeah. Also reading.
Reading?
Yeah, philosophy has been an extraordinary help because it presents these little models, of thought models, and you can apply them to procedure. You can turn a thought model into a procedural model. And it's Prigogine, for example. Yeah, through reading Prigogine, I was able to develop the idea of emergent counterpoint as a probabilistic kind of event, and so we made it more like nature. Like if you look at the ocean and you see the water, the light go ding, 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 or a lake, yeah? So I wanted to emulate more that kind of counterpoint, yeah, than the traditional kinds of counterpoint, because those had already been very well constructed by Balanchine, for example. So I had to look for a new place where my love lived, yeah? I had to find my love in another place, yeah, yeah.
You saw the Japanese No performance yesterday.
Yes, I did.
And that No and also kabuki, which is also a traditional Japanese art form, they have dance elements beyond storytelling. And what was your impression of No?
Well, as a professional choreographer, or perhaps as William Forsythe, I immediately tried to detect patterns. And I realized that there were patterns in there.
Patterns.
The right leg would go boom and make a noise, or it was boom, boom, and then second time, the right leg, through the pattern, the right leg would make noise, and then the left foot would go, and we all went, oh, because we expected the noise, which is an extraordinarily sophisticated, sort of contemporary idea, subtraction. They were composing our attention, and the drama was in the subtraction of sound. So it was the performer's silence in our anticipation that totally caught us off guard. Wow. It was, I'm going to steal that idea, I think.
Really? Oh.
No, I think I already have.
Wow, you observe a lot. How do you maintain your body, which is a tool of expression?
I do about roughly 2 hours of physical work every day.
2 hours every day?
Every day.
What do you do?
Oh, what do I do? Well, besides, running up and down the road, and so that I do a very complicated series of activations, posterior chain, weighted things, weighted exercises. I use a Persian device called a mace. It's a weighted bar, and I swing this mace. It was sword training many centuries ago in Persia, and I use that. And I use any number of strategies to activate my neurological self. Yeah.
Wow, you do it every single day?
Pretty much, yeah. No, well, I do take a break. I have to. I'm flying or something.
Oh yeah, of course. Oh wow. So could you give some advice to educators in dance?
These are other people's children.
Oh yes, yes.
Respect them as you would wish your own children to be respected.
Wow.
Yeah.
Other people's children. I see. So you respect their
whole selves. I would want my children to be respected by a teacher, treated as full human beings. So I think that is my obligation. That's an imperative, I feel, to treat other people's children the way I would want my own children to be treated.
Oh, wow, that's so beautiful. Yes.
It makes a nice atmosphere.
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
It does.
Okay. Thank you very much,
You're
Mr.
very
Forsythe.
welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you.